Right, I'm back. No one here at the moment. Mind you, I did say 5 minutes. Right. Oh, yeah. Right, hello. I've got one person watching. I'll give it a few minutes. Because I did say that I was going to do a new stream. Talking about some of the weird stuff that's happened in the past. So, give it a minute or two. Don't really matter because people will probably watch it later anyway. But I thought I'd do a little stream. However long it'll be, I don't know. But I thought I'd do something regarding the past. Tell you some of the stories while I've been into the paranormal. Let's think to start from. Right, I'll tell you how I got more into it. Well, no. When I was homeless, I was actually put into a homeless place over at Croydon Court Hotel. That was after, like, my ex-wife kind of like walked out on me, took the kids, and I was like kicked out of the place that I was actually living in. No, it was probably about a year, something like that, after I got into the paranormal, really. I was going out, doing cemetery work, even though I was in temporary accommodation. And there's one place I went to while I was in this temporary accommodation, about 6 months or so, yeah. I went to a big cemetery over at Norwood. I think it's West Norwood Cemetery, which I'd like to go back to again, but I'm a bit dubious because that's where I actually ended up breaking my leg. Kind of like the grounds in the actual cemetery was kind of like really kind of overgrown, and my leg then went down a bit of a hole, I think it was, and I twisted it badly. I thought it was just a twist actually, but after going to the hospital twice and having 2 separate x-rays and walking around on it for 2 months, the hospital did realise they made a mistake on the first x-ray, and the second one told me that I'd broken my tibia. And that's why I couldn't walk around on it so much, and that's why I was having so much pain. Now, because where I was living at the time, I had to keep walking up and down the stairs, and doing that was giving me too much pain here, so I had to contact council, prove that I'd broken my leg, and ask them to replace me. Now, before I was actually made homeless, I knew I was going to be put somewhere, and I always thought, right, being into paranormal, I'd love to go to Hall Place in Mitcham. Now, there is another place called Hall Place in Bexley, and me and my 2 nephews have been there. And it's a massive park with a massive, I think it's like Georgian building, probably older, and that is actually haunted. They used to do like ghost hunt, kind of like investigations there, but they only used to do it like once a year, I think. So ain't in that whole place. But anyway, the council originally put me in. I thought, well, I'd love to be in Hall Place. So like going to this cemetery and ending up breaking my leg did me a favour, because once I told them that I'd broken my leg, I surprisingly put into Hall Place. Now Hall Place, going back, from the research I've been doing, um, one, it used to be some kind of hospital for where people used to be put in, coming back from World War Two and being like, nursed back to health and stuff like that. And after World War Two, they closed it down and made it into an old people's home. And then I'm not sure what year it was, but eventually the old people's home got burnt down in one way. Not completely, destroyed, but it did burn down, and it did kill, quite a few elderly people in there apparently. Then it got rebuilt, and I'm not sure how long it was empty for, but it was empty for a little while. Then it was used for something else. Then that got closed down, and then it started being used as like to place people, in temporary accommodation, because you had like about 40 rooms in it, I think, and each room had its own kind of like bathroom, which is separated from your bed. What it is like one room, but with another room inside, which is the bathroom, yeah. But the rest of the place is like a kitchen and bedroom, living room, all in one kind of thing, yeah. I have got videos up in the past, whole place. And, I have read stories where, it has been active, over the years. And, when I did get there, I was really, kind of like happy that I was being put there. And like, was my broken leg being something that had to be done while being in the cemetery for me to be put there? Was it, what's that word I'm trying to think? Fate. So I always wanted to go there, actually, when I knew I was going to be made homeless. And as I say, the first place I thought of, like Hall Place, yeah, I'd love to be there because it's supposed to be haunted. Now, I was put there, as I say, and I was there for a couple of months. And, I used to go around to the charity shops and stuff like that. And I did actually get a job in one of the charity shops. And this story I've actually told before, yeah. The day I worked in there, something crazy went on. Like, the woman manager asked me to do the windows because they still had like, the old Christmas decoration, the sticky stuff on there, which I cleaned, and made a good job of it because many years ago I used to do window cleaning with a friend of mine. So I knew how to get some of that sticky stuff off. She was happy with cleaning of that. Then she got me to do some shelf thinning. Then a bit later on, she asked me to check a load of books out and start putting some books on the shelves. Now that day, I actually come across the book about haunted locations and haunted homes and stuff like that. Yeah, and the moment I picked that book up, seriously, I'm not lying to you. What I'm telling you is all true. Yeah, I suddenly just felt ill. I felt sick. I went to the bathroom. I started having diarrhea. I was throwing up. I was like, high temperature, sweating. And I said to her, like, I had to come home. But something still kept telling me to, like, get that book. So I paid for the book and I brought the book home. And for 2 days solid, I was ill. And I just kept thinking it's something to do with that book. So, I had blessed water. There's a church up the road, and I was able to get blessed water and blessed salt. And I managed to get a bit of energy to get up to the church and ask the priest if he could bless me, kind of thing. which he did do, and I told him the reason why. And after he blessed me, I started feeling really, better. I got him to bless some more water and salt for me as well. And I said to him, "Do you think I'm doing anything wrong?" And he said, "No. If you feel that you're here to try to help spirits cross over, then good for you. But you are gonna get that negativity, that those bad energies, whether being dark, kind of demonic or whatever, because those dark energies, those negative energies are going to try to fight you off and stop you helping other spirits cross over." And I spoke to him for a little while, and I said to him, "Well, is there any chance I can walk around the cemetery one night, because there is a small cemetery at the back of the church, and take photos and doing like an EVP session?" And he was okay with that. But 2 days I was fucking ill, really ill. How I got the energy to go up to that church after 2 days, I do not know, but I did. So that's one thing that happened there, and that ain't just the only thing. It's only been about a year and a half after my dad had died, I think it was, maybe a bit more than that. I saw like a white shimmy, kind of like apparition, come out from the bathroom and walk past the kitchen. And I was actually doing a session that particular night. And I think I've got it on my YouTube. I think I've even still got it on my hard drive somewhere. So I don't intend to try and delete some of these videos if I can help it, because it's kind of like things you can go back to and remember and check up on the kind of activity that I had. What the fuck was that? Might have been the cat knocking around. So this white shimmy thing, yeah, I said, if it's my dad, can you walk past the kitchen? And that's when it happened, this kind of white shimmery see-through kind of white apparition-y kind of thing walked past the kitchen. And I asked it to go back from the kitchen into the bathroom a few minutes later, and it actually did do it. But on video, it looks like an orb. But to me, with my own eyes, it was like a full-grown, kind of apparition of a spirit. Oh, if it was my dad or not, I can't. Well, it actually felt like it was my dad, because I had the feeling that my dad was around me quite a lot at that time. Yeah, although he was deceased, and probably just being with me, protecting me, I suppose. But I did have some crazy things happen there as well. Like there was one night when the TV just turned on by itself, and the remote control was on the table. So that I can explain what happened. I've seen shadows, I've seen loads of, that place was covered with orbs. If you go back on some of those videos, man, I called it Orb Central, because it just looked like there's so many orbs around, whether they were from the cemetery up the road, or if they might have been deceased people that might have died, when the old age pensioners home used to be there, or people might have died there, when there's been nursed back together from World War II, because that place was used for several different things, yeah. And there were stories in the post that other people had kind of weird experiences as well. Now, there was one night, you come out of my room, walk down the corridor, turn right, walk down another long corridor, turn right again, and if you walk down this corridor, there's used to be like a cafeteria kind of thing, which I don't really use. But just as you get to the cafeteria, there's like a little door, and you come out the door, and it leads open to an open air space, yeah. And as you come out there, you turn right, and that's where the laundry room is. Now, I had to go down there one night because when you done laundry, you had to book your time. And being like 40 odd rooms in there, yeah, you know, many people had to do their laundry. And I mean, a lot of people had to do their laundry. So you had to book your time. Sometimes, like, you had to book it like 12, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning to just go and do your laundry. Now, there's one particular night I remember going down there, yeah, and I think my appointment was like 1:30, and you only get an hour to do your laundry, yeah, right? So I've gone down there with my laundry, you didn't have to pay for it, it was free. All you had to pay for was your detergent and, you know, your liquid stuff we put in. Anyway, I was in there putting my laundry in, and I thought, well, I could just leave it running and go back to my room and come back later, about half an hour later. But I decided to stay there. And while I was sitting there waiting, the door actually closed by itself. Why it closed by itself, I've got no idea, because it was a warm, sunny kind of like day, well, night, I suppose. I think it was in the summer anyway. The door just closed by itself for no reason. There wasn't no draft, nothing, yeah. So I thought it just might have been someone outside that, pushed the door to. Or it might have been an animal or something, yeah. I got up and looked around, nothing there at all. So I kind of got up and kind of like opened the door again, and I pushed it back as far as I could, so I could see, if anyone was mucking around outside. And I'm sitting there waiting for my laundry to continue, and hopefully finish quickly. And I saw this shadow walk right past this fucking door. So I kind of shouted out, "Wait, who's out there?" Thinking it might have been one of the other tenants. No reply whatsoever. So instead of having the door open, I fucking got up and shut it. It kind of like spooked me out. Now, there was one night, a couple of nights later, well, I say a couple of nights, probably about 2 weeks later, when I went to go down there again to do my laundry. I was kind of like a bit freaked out, actually, going to do my laundry, trying to keep my laundry, backpiled until I got enough, until I think, yeah, I definitely need to do it. Because that night did kind of like freak me out a little bit, to be honest with you. But a few weeks later, I went back down there to do my laundry again. And there's this woman in there, yeah. And she said, well, I've still got a lot to do, I said, well, I need to do mine. So, you do yours, and then, I'll do mine. And, if there's a bit of a delay, then there's a delay. I'll go and see the guy, and I'll let him know. So I left my laundry there, went and spoke to the security guard, because there's always like a security guard on the reception desk. I said, it was a bit of a delay. The woman reckons that there's a problem with the washing machine. She's only just started, So, there's going to be like about 20 minutes delay or something, yeah. Goes, oh, all right, fair enough. So the person who would have been after me, he would have seen go past, and he would have said, look, there's a 20-minute delay. He would have told them anyway, yeah. He wasn't going to be knocking on the door at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning saying, oh, sorry, there's going to be a delay on the laundry. So I've gone and told him, I've gone back, and I'm waiting for the woman to finish off her washing. And I just said to her, casually, I said, have you been here long? She goes, well, about 6 months. I said, oh, okay. I did say I was into the paranormal straight away, kind of. I said, since you've been here, have you had any kind of like weird things happen? Like anything crazy or, unusual? And she goes, yeah, a couple of times I've been sitting here washing and that door just shut by itself. I thought, really? She goes, yeah. I said, that happened to me the other night. I said, have you heard anything else? She goes, well, I've heard like scratching on my door, and no animals were allowed in that place whatsoever. She goes, I heard scratching on my door. I said, anything else? She goes, well, I think I've seen like a shadowy figure, but I think it just might be my mind playing around, she goes. I said, well, look, I'll be honest with you, I'm into the paranormal. I do ghost hunting. I'll go out, doing investigations, stuff like that. And the other week when I was here, the door did shut on its own, and I saw a shadowy kind of like movement near it as well. I just said to her, "Do you think this place is haunted?" Goes, well, she's not really into the paranormal, but she did say that a few weird things have happened since she's been there, and she's been too afraid to actually say anything to anyone. But because I was there, we had a pretty lengthy kind of like conversation. And she goes, oh, I've never really believed in ghosts and ghouls and gobbledygooks and all that kind of paranormal stuff, but she did say she feels that there's something, there that's going on which she can't explain. So, after that conversation, we just left it as it was, and I practically didn't really see her anymore because, you only sometimes see the same person if they're coming out and going shopping, or if it's the same practical time, when they're going and doing the laundry. Some people used to try to get the same time period, for their laundry and stuff like that, kind of thing. So I'm not reading chat, by the way. So, while I was there, I was doing ghost boxes. I was using the Ouija board on a tablet. And I was getting some crazy stuff there, yeah. Even though I had a broken leg, I was still doing stuff. I was still trying to get out and do a bit of, like paranormal, going up to the cemetery or jumping on the bus and going somewhere else, going and doing shopping and stuff like that, kind of thing. But there was one guy who was there. He was talking to me one day, and I don't know what kicked off the topic actually. I think it was because I was doing videoing, and he saw me videoing, and he heard me. He goes, "Well, you got a video recorded for?" I said, "Well, I told him the reason why." And he goes, "Have you seen or caught anything?" And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Do you think this place is haunted?" I said, "Well, there's been quite a lot of unusual activity, occurred and been documented here. And, I did see like a white shimmery figure in my room one night. And I believe it might have been my father's spirit. I can't prove it, but it might have been." So he said, fascinating. He goes, "I'd love to see something." So I actually invited him in my room one day. I said, "Look, if you want to come at 9 o'clock here, because that's when I feel like sometimes the activity kind of like starts up in my room." And so he actually came. He actually come to my room, and I think I've got him on one of the videos actually. And I said to him, "Look, even if this place is haunted, doesn't mean that they're, whatever spirits over here are going to be like negative, angry, evil, demonic, or whatever. Now, some spirits tend to come because they want to communicate. Some spirits might be, long lost ones, I asked him if he had any kind of experiences, and he said, he's got tapped before he heard the odd voice or something, like his name being called. But, he thought it's just like his infigurant imagination. So the night I actually let him come into my room, I was doing a ghost box session, and I had one of my night vision cameras turned on because we turned the lights off. And I was just panning the camera around, and he goes, "What was that?" And I played it back, and you can see all these orbs flying around. I said, "They're spiritual energies. That's what we called an orb." It was so fucking fascinating, man. I'll tell you, man. He only come in my room a couple of times, and that was it. But somehow, security got to know what I was doing in my room, and they told me to stop. I said, "Look, I'm not doing anything wrong, it's always in my room, and it's not always here, I'm doing it outside. So what I do outside, you can't tell me what I can't do. Well, if it's in your room, we can tell you what to do and what you can't do, and we don't want you practicing, the dark arts or black magic or communicating with so-called ghosts in your room." I said, "What I do in my room It's nothing to do with you. You know, it's not affecting other people. Because if it's affecting other people, that's not my problem. Because it could be affecting other people for different reasons, you know. It might not be because of me doing it, you know. Other people might be, you know, kind of like, in one way, experiencing weird things. You know, I've spoken to people when they said that they've experienced things before I even got here. You know, like shadows and the doors opening or closing and like scratching noise and stuff like that. So really, it's just an interest to me. So anyway, security didn't want me to do it. And what they went and done, they contacted the council, and the council came around and spoke to me and said, sorry, you can't do it. Well, otherwise, you know, we're going to have to ask you to leave. I said, you can't tell me what I can do outside this room. I said, I'll stop doing it in here, yeah. But if I go to a cemetery or haunted location outside, you can't tell me I can't upload a video to my YouTube channel. She goes, well, we could ask you to not do it, but, you know, if you do it and we don't know about it, fair enough, but we don't want you doing it in here. So it's more, you know, if the security's okay with it, then, you know, okay. So I turned around and said, well, can I do it? And the security goes, well, if it ain't affecting anyone else, then yeah, but not too much. And they said that in front of the council, yeah. So I said, okay, you know, I'll continue doing it, but not as much. You know, maybe once, twice a week. I said, okay, fair enough. So far I was doing it every single day, which I wasn't. 2 days later, the guy from security came down, knocked on my door, said, we don't want you doing it anymore. We're getting complaints that people are hearing weird noises and stuff like that, and we think it's because of you. So I said, okay, fair enough. Won't do it anymore. I fucking did. I carried on doing it. So they can't prove when I was and when I wasn't doing it, but I still done it. Not on a regular basis. Like, you know, I was doing it about a couple of times a week. I was going out, you know, doing stuff outside, you know, going to cemeteries and uploading the video content on me YouTube and stuff like that. But then the council come up to me one day and said, well, you know, we've noticed that you're not actually bidding on locations and you need to, like, bid on a location. Because, you know, if you don't bid, you're going to be, like, in temporary accommodation for ages and you can only be here for 2 years. And if you don't find someone, you know, if you don't find someone within 2 years, you'll be on the street, you know, because this place will be needed for someone else. I thought, oh, fucking hell, here we go. So I started bidding on the place, yeah. And I did just a Ouija board session one night, and this is gospel truth. Everything I'm telling you is gospel truth, yeah. I was doing a Ouija board session one night. I said, look, if I find a location or a bid on a location, do you think I'll get it? So they said, yeah, you know, start bidding. So I bidded on 3 locations, yeah. One which was here, which is near Stratton Vale. One was in Rains Park, which I was hoping to get because I've been near to my, you know, like my kids. And there's another location I bidded on. Now, while I was bidding on, I didn't know if I was going to get any of them or not yet. So one night, I was doing another Ouija board session. I said, am I going to get one of these locations? And they said, yeah. And I said, what one? And they said, Stratton Vale. So I said, okay, you know, I didn't know where Stratton Vale was, you know. I knew it was near Mitcham somewhere, but they said Stratton Vale. Now, Stratton Vale is in between Mitcham and Stratton. So, you know, I didn't think anything else about it yet, but a few days later, I'll get a letter from the council saying that, you know, I'm being moved out of here and I'm going to another location. And they said it was in Mitcham. Well, this is still classed as Mitcham. So I had to pack all my gear up, and, you know, the day I got the letter, I had to come here, meet up with an advisor. She showed me around the place, yeah, completely empty, like a box, you know, empty box. No washing machine, cooker, fridge freezer, no bed, no microwave, nothing. It's completely empty. First day I came here to see it, that living room felt very kind of like negative to me. You know, I didn't like being in there. I liked to be in there so she could show me around. And on the letter, it stated that I had to accept the property, because if I didn't accept it, then I'd be made homeless. So I thought, well, yeah, I'm going to have to take it. And, 1 bedroom, separate kitchen, bathroom, living room, big living room, balcony. Yeah. So I said to the woman, well, I've got to take it. And if I liked it or not, I still got to take it. So that day I had to leave the property and then go all the way to their office to sign some forms to get the keys. She wouldn't actually give me the keys while I was here. She had to go back to the office, get the forms all sorted out. I had to go to the office, get the forms, sign the forms, come to the council, get the council to stamp the forms, then go back to the office, hand the forms over and get the keys in that one day. Now, after the same day, I rang my mum up and told her that, I've got this place, and said, the thing is, there's nothing there. I ain't got bed. I've got nothing to cook on. So my mum's felt sorry for me, she started breaking down, crying, goes, look, give me your bank statement. I'll go to the bank, put some money in your bank, go and buy a bed and microwave. That's the two main things you need to buy. So that day, or the next day actually, well, I can't remember if it was the same day or not. I think it was the same day. I actually went to a place near the job centre and bought a bed. And they said they'd deliver it later on in the evening. And that gave me the opportunity to go to Argos and buy myself a microwave. My mum actually put all the money in the bank and it went through my account straight away. So that same day, although I had to go to the council and get the forms filled and go to the office to get my keys and come back, I was able to get the bed and the microwave sorted out the same day as well. Now, I wasn't sure if I wanted to put my bed in that room or in here. But when I was going to put it in there, I still felt that kind of negativity, that uneasiness kind of thing. So I decided to put my bed in here, which I did do, and it's always been in here. So, after being here a few months, getting bits and pieces, going out, doing a bit of scavenging, if I found a chair outside, I'll fucking just grab the chair and bring it in. If I found a bookshelf, which I did find, I'll bring the bookshelf in. And that bookshelf was one of the first pieces of furniture I found, which I bought in, and I still got it. It's been here for over 6 years now. And I don't know if that bookshelf had some kind of spiritual attachment to it, or if a spirit that may have resided in here attached itself to that bookshelf. So every time I went near that bookshelf, I felt very, very uneasy going there. I even had to get someone down here who was also in the paranormal, Jonathan Garthway, who builds ghost boxes now. Get him down here to do a little session and see, if he could communicate with anyone down here. And he said, I can feel your father figure down here, but there's something more kind of uneasy. There's a spirit in here that's kind of negative. I know Martin, and he resides in the living room, and he's attached himself to that bookshelf. So I had to get Jonathan Garthway to do a bit of a blessing in here, and he taught me how to do blessings. So I've had a few weird experiences in here. Even that Martin, apparently Jonathan told me that somehow he contacted Jonathan the night before that he was going to come down here to do his session in my flat, that he rang him somehow on my phone. So, you know what? Because I rang Jonathan the day before and said, you still come down, mate? He goes, yeah. He goes, I don't want to put you, at ease or anything like that, but that Martin rang me last night and warned me off, not to do anything negative towards him, because otherwise you're going to have to come back to it, kind of thing. He knows that I'm coming down, but he's going to kind of what's the word? He's not going to go, but he's going to stay there. He's not going to harm you. You give him his bit of free space and he give you your free space, kind of thing. Just don't keep going in that living room and going in that book cupboard because he ain't gonna like it. So, and I say, like, that's what he said to Jonathan anyway, and Jonathan can back me up on that if you ever speak to Jonathan on Facebook. So anyway, Jonathan did come down the next day and, like, done some, like, prayers and, blessed the house with, holy salt and blessed water and stuff like that. He said, like, I've tried moving on, but he ain't going to go peacefully. He wants to stay. This is his domain. And, you either have to lump it or whatever. So, I believe that Martin, his spirit, did stay for, a good few years until he decided that, if I'm going to keep going in and out, it's not going to, like, really affect me so much. It's going to affect him. I'm not going to give him his free space. So he kind of, like, did kind of vacate the property after being there about 3 years. But mine was one of the more of the spirits here that I felt uneasy because, like, I thought if I do go in there and kind of, like, keep moving into his particular little bit of space, there might be a possibility that, he could, like, either possess me or, spiritually attack me or whatever kind of thing. But it didn't happen, I think he eventually did move on, eventually. But since I've been here, as you know, I've had some really crazy stuff going on. Don't know where to start, actually, apart from Martin. When we've done those murder mysteries, unsolved cases, I had a lot of activity then. That black apparition that appeared in my living room when I was in here one night. That was crazy alone. That scared the shit out of me. That night it happened scared the shit out of me. But then, I'm thinking over a few hours later, thinking, well, yeah, it scared the shit out of me. We've seen something unexplained appear in my living room on DVR on a live fucking stream. How could that, really occur? Was it a portal that we've opened and, like, one of the spirits, which might have been Sandra Blaine or Elizabeth Tate or Alicia Lamb, that's come through and, tried to manifest and show appreciation that, we took the time and care and, love and, trying to communicate with them and find out the truth and what really happened between, So I think it was Sandra Bland that was, like, beaten to death in the prison office, in the prison cell. Alicia Lamb died in the hotel, and Elizabeth Tate, I think her name was, or whatever her fucking name was, I can't remember that. Elizabeth Black Dahlia, or Dahlia, she was, like, killed and dismembered. So, was it them trying to come through and, like, show the appreciation, or were they trying to come through and, scare the shit out of me, or was it something else, kind of like dark and demonic that might have been trying to come through? But we caught that on fucking camera, man. Live stream as well. Then we had, like, that little Mary running down the hallway when we was live streaming as well. I can tell you who was actually on the streams, actually. It's me, Rose, and Michelle when the black mass apparition appeared in the living room. Me and Pumpkinhead Perry was streaming. I think Rusty Reporter was on as well. When Perry saw little Mary running down the hallway, as I was getting up to go out to make a cup of coffee. What else was there? It was live streaming when we caught that fucking white apparition in the kitchen. Then we was live streaming when we was doing that Xbox Connect, when we had that Xbox hit in the kitchen on the monitor for, like, fucking 45 minutes. What else was there? The golf ball, when I was doing the a Ouija board session in the living room, and that golf ball just flew off the fucking like cupboard near the door and hit me. And I tried getting up and debunking that, if there's like a little gust of air, or if it just like lost balance, trying to debunk that. Couldn't debunk that the way it fell or the way it came flying over to me. Me being kind of like punched in the back and flying across the room. That was definitely negative. That was definitely negative. Pissed off something there, I'll tell you that for one thing, yeah. So I started feeling ill, remember, and I said I'm going to open the window because it was getting hot, really hot, and I was feeling like a little bit sick. And as soon as I opened the window and turned around, it felt like someone just went bang straight in the back, and I went flying across the room. That was crazy. That was more scary than the golf ball, but the more scariest one is that fucking black apparition appearing in the living room. All partial apparitions in here, live streaming. I've had me good dose of like paranormal activity. I've not gone out and like made it public, as in like and I'm not saying this in like trying to cause drama or hate or anything, but I've not gone and reported to like the newspapers or TV or the radio and anything like that, because like someone actually tried to report me to my housing association for being a ghost hunter, paranormal investigator, saying that he's conjuring up dark magic and like ghosts and we fear for the neighbours that it might affect them. And I had to ring up my housing association and explain to them, I'm a paranormal investigator. I do believe that my flat may have some kind of like spiritual ghostly going on in here, and the neighbours do know that I do communicate with spirits. And I said, look, what you do in your religious side of life doesn't bother us. So if you think your house is haunted and you're talking to a ghost, that's up to you. You do what you want to do. If we do get complaints, then we might have to have a word with you. Try to like get you to kind of like calm it down a bit. But it's spiritual belief, and we can't get involved in spiritual belief. So I've got myself cleared on that one, to be honest with you. But it's not so much just having the activity in your home. It's like outside as well. When I was at Pete's house, the first time I went down to Pete's, poltergeist activity happened to me there twice in one night. First of all, a tin flying down when I was asleep, and it hit me on the foot, scared the shit out of me. I called Pete down, told him. He said, don't worry about it, don't think anything was happening. I just wanted to let you know that they're here. Half an hour later, fucking the same tin can, and several other items come flying off the shelf at me. I was practically begging Pete to either bring me home or get a taxi so I can come home. And the taxi would have cost me about 25 quid, I reckon. But eventually I stayed up in his son's room on the floor. His son's was 18, 19 years old. And so he goes, just go and sleep up there, we give you a blanket and a pillow. Didn't think, we'd get that much activity, but it was caught on video on, DVR. That was uploaded onto my YouTube channel. So paranormal activity from Pete's house. Apparitions. 3 apparitions in Jordan's Wood in 2 different times. We went up there, caught 2 apparitions on the first occasion. Second time we went up there, caught another apparition. Caught apparition in Puckley Village, which I didn't think we'd ever get, but we did. And I say that's like another female dressed in a cloak. She kind of like steps out from, behind a tree, walks to another tree, goes behind it, and doesn't come out the other side. So we caught that. Now we had crazy amount of shit happening at Pete's. we did stuff offline, um, a lot of stuff offline. We even done Skype stuff, and I caught like an apparition, kind of like in his back garden, which I recorded and uploaded as well. When we was down here, the fucking stuff was going on. Like the bird cage kept constantly being banged. His parrot kept going crazy. His parrot. He reckons his parrot never really spoke. But when I was down there, we was doing paranormal stuff. That parrot wouldn't fucking shut up talking some of the times. We believe it might have been the spirit of Albert, the husband of Edna, that was, resided there. And found out the first day I was down there when we had that paranormal activity, that poltergeist stuff here, that was Edna. Because we found out, a bit later, a few weeks, month later, or whatever it was, that it was Edna that done it. She wanted to let them know that she was there. And the only way she could do that was throw stuff at me. And I don't know, it's more like a warning, but she just definitely wanted to let them know that someone or something was there. Now, I actually moved Edna over there by doing like a session down there, like a friendly crossing. And I was hoping to like cross Arthur over as well. Because, we kept getting their names on EVP and Ghostbox. And we asked if they were married, and we definitely got a 100% yes, we're married on there, yeah. So, I try to do a crossing where I cross them both over, but we believe we only crossed Edna over at first, and Arthur was too afraid to go over, or he had unfinished business there. And I remember Pete saying, it's going fucking crazy here. We can't bear it. I know it's like Arthur, he's really pissed that he hasn't crossed over. Can you come back down? Which I did do. And this time, it kind of seemed kind of quiet than normal. I think, Arthur was like ready and prepared to cross over this time. And, after I did the crossing, I don't know, we kind of like opened another doorway, a portal, but, I believe Arthur crossed over and went with Edna because Edna was waiting for him. But a couple of weeks later, Pete's saying, we've got more activity going on here. But Pete attended to kind of do a lot of stuff on his own, and I'm pretty sure he opened too many portals over there, and he didn't realise that some of the stuff that he's been doing was very dangerous. And I told him that. I've been down Pete's house, God knows how many times. I haven't seen him for 2 or 3 years now, actually, because I know that he's moved to another location. We even went round his dad's house because, his dad was old school paranormal. They didn't have all this technology that we got now. You might have used a Ouija board or tarot cards or, candlelight or sage or some other kind of stuff. He used different techniques in them days. And he passed on a lot of this stuff to Pete. Now, I just heard something being dragged, and that could be upstairs, but I just heard a clock ticking. And I ain't got a clock in here that ticks. The clock over there has not worked for ages. And that ticking sounded right next to me then. Can you hear it? It's definitely like a clock ticking. Now, the only clock that is used to be very spiritually active was the one that Chris sent me down. which I still got in the living room. So anyway, Pete's house was crazy. Every time we went down there, things happened. There's a night, which I think might have been on camera. See, we couldn't do a live stream. We had to record it with camcorders and with his DVR system. That's what got me wanting to get a DVR, because Pete had one. My first DVR camera was one camera. Then I upgraded to 4, then to 8. But there's one night when me, Pete, and his family was around the table doing was just about going to do a Ouija board session, I think it was. And the curtains behind us just flew open on its own. Scared the shit out of all of us, man. We all got jumped out of our fucking chairs and looking out the window, thinking, well, what fucking caused it, And there were, although there was people near the curtains, you would have seen them, lean over. You had to lean over, or you'd have seen their arm movement, kind of pull the curtain open. And, I had eye view of everyone near the curtains, and they just flew open, man. Then there was another time at Pete's when we was getting ready. We'd just done a session actually, and we thought we'll have an half-hour break, because when you're doing things like this, it does take it, energy out of you. It makes you feel tired, and you need to recoup that energy. So we're sitting there. I think Pete had gone out with his missus to make tea and coffee, and there's me, his son, Pete, we called him Pete, because my mate Pete, one of his kids were called Pete. His other kids were upstairs sleeping, and we're sitting there, and we're just saying, "Oh, come on, fuck's sake, do something," It was kind of edging on the spirits to do something, and suddenly the TV just turned on by itself. I thought, what the fuck, And Pete goes, "Did you see that?" I said, "Well, yeah, the TV's turned on. Big fucking screen, 42, 46-inch TV, just turns on by itself." I said, "Well, where's smoke control?" He goes, "There." So I thought, right, okay, let's turn it off. Now, if you've got a TV set up, right, to record a particular program, yeah, it don't need to turn the TV on, even on standby. Now, if it's set on the standby, then you can only have, well, in them times, about 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, I think you can only set a TV on standby only one time. So anyway, we've got the remote control, we've turned it off, we've put the remote control back on, and we're saying, come on, do something else. Lights start flickering. I thought, fucking hell, mate, and seriously, there's no light, cross my heart to die. The lights start flickering. We're calling Pete in. We said, the TV just come on there. Look, the fucking lights are flashing. And he goes, "Oh, this ain't good. I feel this is negative." I said, "Well, this is the kind of thing we need, Pete, to prove that your house is haunted." He goes, "Yeah, but, I don't want this shit. This is too crazy." I said, "Look, Pete, we do a crossing, we do a blessing after, yeah, but this is the evidence we need." And I said, "Right, is that all you can do? Turn the TV on, turn the light, flicker the lights on and off. The door starts moving." I said, "That could be a draft. We can't say that's a spirit doing that." I said, "Come on, I'll tell you what, turn the TV back on." And what happens? The TV turned back on after asking it to be turned back on. And we're thinking, holy shit, this is fucking bad. So, we had to close it down then. We had to say, right, okay, whoever's doing this, we ask you now to stop, in love and light of Jesus Christ, we command you not to do anymore, we're asking you to leave, we're going to do crossing, and blessing, all that kind of stuff, which we did do. And, Pete did say that, he still was getting activity, after I left, but it wasn't as bad, kind of thing. You know, I've actually had been down Pete's about, a dozen times, doing ghost stunts and going on investigations. We did the monastery. Fucking, I can't remember where that was now. We've done a castle a couple of times. The monastery did a couple of times. I even took my nephews over to the castle and monastery. Shockenoff Castle, Shooter's Hill, I think it's called. Bit of an unusual name, Shockenoff. Got stabbed in the back of the head, but I think I know that was that wasn't spiritual. I said to Pete, that wasn't spiritual. I know who done that, because it's something like, he kind of like shot from behind me. It was his daughter's boyfriend that slapped me on the back of the head, because his daughter's boyfriend was kind of like jealous that Pete tried to put me more kind of like as a leadership in the group, and I said no, I didn't want to be leadership. I just want to be a team member. But his daughter's boyfriend felt like he's been left out and not being, able to do as much. Although he's still done cameras and stuff like that. But even Pete asked me, not to talk about it too much. And there's a stream I did talking about it, and he asked me to take this video down, which I did do. But no, that is his boyfriend, his daughter's boyfriend that slapped me around the back of the head. But there was, activity there. We saw shadows. We got crazy EVPs. We saw some kind of like flashing light in the actual castle itself, and the castle was shut down because it was going on under renovation. So that was kind of crazy. And when I took my nephews over there, some time ago, we was getting activity over there as well. Getting the names of what we knew the names of who built the castle, and the woman who the person built the castle for was asking questions, and we was getting direct answers and getting the correct names and everything. Yeah. So there, the monastery, that was crazy. On one of my pictures, it looks like you can see 3 monks in the background, and you can see like white eyes, kind of thing, which was a bit crazy. So some of the locations we've been to, with Pete, monastery, the castle, and Puckley Village, we got activity. We went to Puckley Village twice because the first time we couldn't find it, and eventually when we did find it, it started raining, so we had to come home anyway. Because the first time when we couldn't find it, we went across 3 farm fields, until we ended up near a railway track, and we had to turn back. We thought, well, let's go to the village and look at the map, because there is a map in the village. And as we was coming back towards the car, I did an EVP. And, Pete was way back behind me. I was walking further in front of him. And I had my EVP recorder, being my Nokia. And I thought I'd just do a quick EVP. And I just said, hey, if there's any spirits around me right now, can you tell me where we are? Because we're bloody lost. And I left it recording for about 20 seconds or so, like I always do. And on playback, you could hear the spirit going, Parkley. And I played it back to Pete, and it was fucking like, wow, So we went to the village, found the map, found the location to Puckley Screaming Woods. The only screams we heard were, proper females, living humanoid females screaming, where their boyfriends had got drunk and chased them about. That's the only screams we heard. But we went, we said we'd go back there again, which we did do, because we knew where the bloody screaming were this time. And as we got there, we saw this van, and there was another paranormal group there, funny enough. We weren't the only paranormal group there. There was another group there. I don't think we actually, I think when we was leaving, we saw a group near the cars, but we didn't want to kind of talk to them. We just jumped in the car and drove off. But it's only until like I reviewed the video when we saw that, you know, that female apparition in the trees. So yeah, I believe Screaming Woods is haunted, but the screams, you know, the first time he was there, it's just like humans, you know, living people screaming around, you know, kind of thing. But I do believe you know, it is haunted. Why would I call it apparition otherwise? You know, you can see it's a female wearing a cloak, just like, you know, the female I caught on the recent video. Could it be you know, the same spirit coming back to visit me? You know, or trying, well, not to visit me, but you know, it looks like the same kind of like spiritual entity in one way, just a little bit taller. But if you think about it, the first one we caught, because it's a distance, you know, quite further back, it just looked like a childlike figure. But this one looks like kind of an adult kind of like figure on a more recent video I caught. So, you know, am I still getting kind of like spiritual energies, you know, still visiting me and trying to show themselves on video? I'm hoping so, because you know, although I ain't done much over the last year because of all this bullshit that's been going on, it has, like, you know, taken a lot of channels down and affected a lot of channels and our health and, you know, our concentration and love and understanding, like, you know, doing the paranormal. I ain't going to stop it. I still want to do it, just that it's going to take time to get back doing it the way it used to happen, you know, kind of thing. Said earlier, you know, if I have to start off doing just like live stream, you know, overnight DVRs, then that's how it's going to happen. If it means like sharing out videos from the past, that's how it's going to happen. You know, I do want to get back doing like live streams with like, you know, ghost boxing, live stream EVPs, you know, Ouija boards, pendulums, whatever. I know I've said it many times over the last several months saying like, it's going to happen, it's going to happen. It will happen. I've just got to, like, you know, get back, prepare myself, make sure I'm strong, you know, make sure that there are spiritual energies that want to communicate with me. There are going to be nights where I ain't going to get fuck all. It's happened before. But I said we're going to do a Ouija ball session. Nothing's come through. I'm hoping Tina and Abby, I do feel that their energies are still around, but I haven't felt them, you know, as much as I used to feel them. You know, because like, if I was like a spirit and I've been communicating with someone for quite a while and suddenly that person stopped, you know, what am I going to do? Let that person kind of like have a downtime and let them, you know, kind of sit back, relax, and try to get themselves back to the way it used to be? You know, would I be a spirit that wants to come back and communicate to that person? Because it feels like they might have been kind of like neglected and, you know, not wanting to be spoken to or communicated with or anything like that. Now, are any of the spirits here still here? Do they want to come and talk to me? Are they ready to talk to me? Is there enough energy in the room, in the flat, to communicate with them? Because you got to produce that energy. You got to like give that love, understanding, and friendship and positivity and that kind of stuff. You like to get them to come and communicate with you. You know, I've never really provoked spirits. You know, I might say, "Oh, come on, fuck's sake, do something, prove to me that you're here." But Pete, Pete used to be a completely different. He would, you know, really swear and like provoke spirits. You know, and that's what I didn't like. But, you know, if you had to provoke spirits to get them to do something, that's going to be kind of like dangerous, man. That can be seriously dangerous to you. Because you could provoke the wrong spirit, and if you provoke the wrong spirit, you know, they can fucking attack you left, right, and centre, man. And then, you know, people turn around and say, well, that, you know, well, you're provoking them and you're getting that evidence. Then, you know, it shows that you're getting the evidence, but you just don't know what a spirit can do to you. I have a story where, you know, people have been slapped about, scratched, you know, having near-death experiences themselves, because like a spirit has like kind of like attached itself and tried to make people commit suicide and stuff like that. They've had poltergeist activity. You know, if I was getting poltergeist activity, I wouldn't mind so much, you know, if it was tame, if it wasn't like crazy ass where things are being thrown around and, you know, chucked at you and you're being picked up and thrown across the room and stuff like that. When there's activity, that can be seriously dangerous to you, you know? And I don't want that kind of activity. And I don't want to be affecting my neighbours either. But if you suddenly see like something levitate behind me, you know, just being picked up, put down, that's the kind of stuff I want to capture. Like, friendly, can you really get a friendly, positive poltergeist? There's been stories out there that people have had that kind of stuff. But the real, you know, negative poltergeist activity, where, you know, spirits are levitating things and throwing them across the room at you, no, I don't think I'm ready for that kind of stuff. And I've asked the spirits how long I'll be doing this for, you know, into the paranormal. Well, you know, till the day I die, they've told me, you know, there are going to be ups and downs, you know, you're going to confront demons and, you know, really evil, negative spirits, you know. Apparently I was supposed to be getting my own group when that happened. God knows. Well, I did have a group, didn't I? My nephews. No, I worked with a group, Pete's group. You know, but my own group was my nephews, and like Aaron just don't want to do it anymore. He's kind of like, nah, paranormal, no more. But you know, if I go to Kent, you know, I've got my other nephew Warren, who said he'd take me up at Jordan's Wood. Simon said he'd come along with me. Aaron said he might come, but he'd have to think it over. Oh, my back's aching now. You know, I suppose I should have gone out and done some shopping today, but I was too lazy to do it. Got nothing in the cupboards apart from baked beans and that Mexican rice. Mind you, I did have 4 bits of pork yesterday and rice, and I cooked some gravy and covered that all with gravy yesterday. You know what, I don't even know if this still works. I only got a screwdriver handy. All my screwdrivers in the box. Can't even remember to turn the fucking thing on. I can't remember how to turn this on, man. That one zooms in and out. That one's night and day. That's got the memory card. I think that's the on-off switch, but I need to find a screwdriver. Let's just say I was doing a stream last night, just a chat one, but no one came on, so I thought, fuck it, you know. What's the point of doing a live stream if no one's there? So I think I've got some screwdrivers at the back over this one. Oh, my leg just went from there. That's a flathead, which is no good. Oops. I think that's too thick. That's not flathead. Where's my screwdrivers, Cammy? Right, let's see what batteries this takes. The thing is, when you've got electronics and you leave the batteries in, don't use them for a year or so, the batteries leak out. If it's the battery's what I think it is, which it is, I don't think I've got. I think I took the last of them. I put my shoulder. One, two here. I've got no idea. That's going to fall down later anyway. I know it will. Told you it's all done. So I've got some, but they're really crappy, shitty ones. I know there ain't none over there because I took those out earlier because I wanted to get some videos out. No, there's no real straw. Let me go and look in the kitchen. I don't think I've got none in the kitchen. I'm going to get some more batteries. Oh, I've got some from the kitchen, but I don't know if they work or not though. So this is going my milk. That one started to corrode on that one. Once your things start going corroded, fucks everything up for you. Just try the cheap shitty ones, I suppose. I'm sure I put the button. Let's get my magnifying glass out. Yeah, that's the Oh, Jesus. I'm making so hard to get batteries out now, please. lot of my stuff I used to build was completely busted. You know, like my DC boxes and stuff like that, completely broken down. I've got to try and remember how to build them, make small. Yay! Oh, it's actually got some files on there. So it's got files on it. It's plain. Delete. I don't want to delete it. How do I go on to know? Let's turn it off. I remember to record on it. Well, let's record. That's on night vision. I think you press that again to stop it, yeah. No, it's a green mode. Right, well, it's working anyway. I might start using this again and do some like little video clips and upload them time to time. At least it's working still, which is good. So the reason I bought this, right, I think it might have been Ghost Adventures or Ghost Hunters. I remember one group of investigators using something like this before, and I was trying to find out what it was. And eventually I found out what it was, so I bought one. And I've actually caught a few orbs on this. So I've caught some orbs. And I think I saw something move past us well on it one night. I can't remember if I recorded that or not. So yeah, I will start, doing more recording, I suppose. Got only 2 people on here now. As you know, I don't watch chat much, to be honest with you. The white skeleton's still here and you want to ask the question. I'll try to answer it, but can't point you a bit of people out. But I am trying to sort this place out gradually, bit by bit. Started off in the kitchen. Hopefully soon we'll do a live stream DVR in the kitchen one night with the old audio turned on. I've got the one what we used to use in the kitchen in the living room. Just got to wire it back up and connect it to the amplifier. So we'll start doing that sometime soon. And then hopefully I can get the living room sorted out one week. There's a lot of stuff I need to get rid of and throw away. Just general junk I picked up from outside, really. Get that sorted out. The only thing is that there is boxes full of stuff, like hand towels and other stuff that someone sent me. Where I'm going to put it, I've got no idea. The amount of dolls I've still got, they need to be sorted out as well. I just don't know what's going to happen. I'm not sure. It's going to take quite a bit of time to get this place sorted out again into a proper living, decent state. They have reckoned that, dark energies, negative energies like clutter. Well, why have that? Then why not? I've not had no fucking negative stuff happening. Because that's what they reckon, isn't it? Fucking hell. £17 I've got to pay. Check on that, what's happening on there. Nothing there. So, as you know, I've been doing a bit of gaming as well. Going back on my game channel, I've got a cheap server. Been playing some of the old Armour 2 DayZ mod. Just fucking around, messing about on that. Because I say, I just don't. I want to get back into this, but I just don't feel that the time's right. I've got to work up to it and prepare myself and build up my energy again. The only way to do that is to, just take it step by step. It's like, going out, and doing something new. You got to make sure you want to do it. You got to prepare yourself. You got to make yourself fit for it. You got to have the energy for doing it. It's like let's say bushcrafting, for instance. When I started wanting to do that, I knew it might cost me a bit of money, travel costs and stuff like that. But I had to prepare myself. I had to make sure I had enough energy to go out and do it. And when I was out there, I had to make sure that I was going to have time to spend to do that hobby. I make sure I'm fit enough to do the hobby. Make sure I take time out to have a break. Like having coffee breaks, cooking something to eat. And then if I had the energy after having that break to continue, then you continue. So, as I said, I'm going to be sharing out some of the videos that we've already done in the past. I'm trying to look for some old videos which may not have been uploaded to share out as well. And hopefully that might bring some of the viewers back. And then once I decide to start live streaming and doing some more paranormal, hopefully that will bring people back as well. I'm not saying I'm going to have the same amount of people back that we had last year. But, eventually, in time, the channel might get picked up again. So when I first started, I didn't expect to have, a lot of people coming and watching. I've had people, from day one watching me, they've said, or they've come to my channel and watched every video that I've had, including the horrible drama ones, which they've decided they didn't want to watch anymore and said, if this is going to all be with drama, we don't really want to be part of it, and we're going to leave your channel. And a lot of people have left my channel that way. But I still get people coming back, just pop on to say hello and trying to see what's going on, and hopefully requesting to get back to do what I like doing. And hopefully that'll happen. Well, there are some nights I want to do a live stream, but when you only got a couple of people watching, you think, is it worth it, Am I wasting my time? But, you know, you've got to realise that, you know, even though you only got like 2 people watching, you know, people will eventually come and watch later. Like when I first started out, you know, I thought, oh, well, we're all going to stream, you know, we're only going to get 2 or 3 people watching. But over time, you know, people do come and watch that video, and that's where you get your views from. And if they like your channel and they like the videos and they like your content and like the paranormal stuff that you're getting, they're going to come and watch it and probably like subscribe to you. And there's new groups coming up all the time, and some of the old groups are like just disappearing and closing down the streams or not doing the paranormal. I've seen it happen. Some people just decide to take a break from it and, you know, stop the paranormal for a certain amount of time and try to come back and restart it later, like I'm trying to do. That's another idea what I might do when I go out. If I do an overnight over there, take this with me. Stand outside with this and see if I can catch anything on this. I'll take the memory card out. How big's the memory card? I think it's only an 8 gig. So what I'll do is I'll quickly see what videos I've got on here. I think if there's anything worth uploading, I'll upload it. If not, I won't. I think there's about 3 videos on there, so let's have a quick look. I'm not going to be able to screen share it because I'm not on StreamYards. You know, there's only like 2 or 3 videos on there. 3 videos. One's 55 seconds. Me just making sure it is working. Is it one? Yeah, it's just me mucking around testing it out. Not really worth uploading them. Right, that's so. Right, that's so. Right, that's so. Okay. Yeah. Gotta make money. Gotta make money. Gotta make money. That's weird. I'm saying something. Gotta make money. Trying to make money, and then suddenly like hear for saying partisan. Gotta make money. I don't think that's me. Gotta make money. Why would I say make my partisan? Weird. Okay. I'll keep that file. Well, that's record. This one I just did. That's on that. I think. Right, so there's one file which I'll keep. Paste that there. And the other files I'll delete, just make on them ones. Right, well, I'm going to go. Not worth being on any more of this, I'm too good watching. I might do a stream tomorrow night, might do a ghost box, I'm not promising, but we'll see how it goes. Was it tomorrow? Thursday, isn't it? Yeah, Thursday. So I'm not planning to go to my bushcraft camp until the weekend now anyway. So we might do a ghost box session tomorrow. And might muck around with this for the next couple of nights so we get to think, go in the living room, go out on the balcony or something. And just look out the window, see if we get anything. Might muck around with that. But I might do a stream tomorrow if there's people around to come and watch. Ghost box, EVP maybe. And that'll be it. If I can think of any other stories to tell you, I'll let you know. Now, there are stories I can think of, you know, like where I've done stuff with Simon James and my nephew and stuff like that. But I might do that bit by bit. But yeah, so, you know, if you subscribe to my channel and you get notifications, it don't mean it's like new videos or new content. It might be just stuff that I'm sharing out, you know, again from the past, you know, to get some people coming back to the channel. All right, catch you all later. Have a good week. Stay safe. Keep safe. Ciao.